So what is phonics? And what does research say about it? Well, the early predictors of later success, said by the University of Reading, UK, and by Stainthorpe and Hughes in 1999, they say that since the alphabetic system is based on letters, as you see the alphabet, based on letters, mapping onto phonemes. So these letters will map onto certain phonemes, sounds. And it is important to be able to map the letters to their sounds. And children have to be explicitly aware of the sounds in words. That is one of the predictors. Another one is that they have to be phonemically aware. And here we are talking about phonemes, to be aware of these sounds in words. This is the basis of, and the rationale for teaching phonics as the first approach to word reading. The level of phonemic awareness at the start of learning to read predicts later success. But then, what comes before this phonemic awareness? Well, phonological awareness. Phonological awareness talks about the bigger picture and talks about this ability to detect and manipulate the sound structure of the spoken words, to be able to get to know that the sentences are made up of words, and inside those words there are sounds. And this is independent of meaning. After that comes this phonemic awareness. That is this ability to be able to recognize and manipulate the phonemes. And what are the phonemes? The smallest units of sounds in words. And then come phonics. And phonics is a method of instruction that focuses on teaching this relationship between sounds and the letters that represent them. Now, let's talk about child development. When a baby is born, this baby can hear all the languages, and they focus on the melody. They are not focusing on a certain language. They are focusing on the melody of that language that they are hearing. By the age of 6 months, they are sensitive to vowels of his mother tongue. So the vowels, they are more aware of the vowels than the consonants. Some months later, let's say 8 months, around 8, 9 months, 10, they stabilize the consonants and they start assimilating the phonological rules needed to combine phonemes to form words. So when they say mama and you change the for a d, it's dada. And they know that the vowel is a, but the other element has changed, and that changed the meaning. So when they are 1 year old, the brain can handle all these phonemes unconsciously, implicitly. But the children, they do not know that they know. So, to learn to read, it is necessary to make conscious the oral language structures. How do we do that? Okay, but first, let's talk about the logographic stage. That is the stage that the children recognize and identify logos, that they are picture for their eyes, establishing connections with meanings. Logos such as Coca-Cola, McDonald's. This is the first stage before they getting into actual reading what is inside the logo. They just recognize as a shape that, and they read Coca-Cola, but they are not reading. They are establishing this connection, visual connections, such as Lego. They don't know that this is Lego. They just name it Lego or Google. Or if you just change the letters inside the logo, but you retain the colors, they will still say Google. Now, what if we write Google in black? That is not the same as the original logo. So probably they won't be able to say Google. They won't recognize it. Now, this is not a logo. This is Greek. And you know what it is here? Mysterious graphics. That is mysterious writing. So for children, what is inside the logo is a mysterious writing. And the way to have access to this mysterious writing is by the means of phonics. So, what is phonics? Phonics is a way of teaching children to read and write. It is not phonetics. Phonetics talks about the speeches in sound, the sound in words, where phonics is a way, is an instruction, is a method of teaching children to read and write. Phonics teaches children to decode words rather than recognizing whole words as logos. So phonics teaches letter sound correspondences, a, the letter A with the sound A, and the letter S with the sound S, and the letter M with the sound M. Phonics teaches blending, a, t, mat. Phonics teaches segmenting, that is to say, t, I, n. When they hear the word tin, t, I, n, identifying the sounds in the word. So, systematic synthetic phonics is the direct teaching of a set of letters, sound relationships or correspondences in a clearly defined sequence for blending and segmenting writing. So let's get into what is this systematic synthetic phonics. We teach the letters and their sounds. How? In a defined sequence, s, a, t, I, p, n, and then k, e, h, r, m, d, g, o, a, l, f, b, a, j, o, I, e, o, z, w, ng, v, o, u, y, x, ch, sh, z, s, qu, au, oi, u, r. This is a defined sequence. And why? Just because you build up words. So with s, a, t, I, p, n, we can build vocabulary that is decodable and encodable. For example, sat, sit, pan, pin, snap. Now, we have to teach the skills with this group of letter sound correspondences. And the skills are blending for reading, mat, at, mat, how to blend the sounds in words to say the word, and then segmenting for writing. They hear the word tin, and t, in, how to identify the sounds in words to write the word, and then write for each of the sounds I heard the corresponding letter sounds that we are teaching simultaneously. So, all in all, what are the elements of good phonics instruction? Phonemic awareness, systematic phonics instruction, vocabulary that has to be cumulative and decodable, and a lot of practice, fluency. That's why a lot of practice to gain fluency and connect to meaning very quickly, comprehension, and writing, practice in writing. So this is phonics, teaching children to read and write independently.